Hello, I'm Father Gavin here in the Favor Room at Loyola and Potomac. Oftentimes there are scripture passages that we relate to a specific moment in our lives, a specific place, and I'd like to mention Psalm 91. It's what the devil quotes when he's tempting Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, the second temptation to throw yourself from the parapet of the temple, and he cites the Psalm, verses 11 and 12. He will command his angels concerning you, and with their hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus answered, again it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. So that's the devil using Psalm 91. As background for what I'm going to say, that with regard to the Psalm, which is in February of 72, I'd like to go back to the year previous. Without doubt was the most difficult year of my life. I had just gotten to Chile, I was teaching, I had hepatitis the previous summer, and coming to 72, I was happy to turn the calendar over. Well, 72 began with January in our summer school for poor children. And we had an outing, and at that outing, I almost lost my life for drowning as I tried to cross the river, testing it before the children went in. And I was still recovering on the side of the river, down a ways where the river pulled me, when I heard shouts, and here a young lad who did not know how to swim had ventured out into the deep. And the priest with us, Father Gene Barber, who's now 88 and still in Chile, had fished him out from under the water unconscious, and we brought him back to the city, to the hospital, thank God, with no permanent damage. So that was January. And then in February, I went out, this is summer in Chile, I went out to the Trappist Monastery for my yearly retreat with the headmaster of the school, Father Bernard Boyle, now deceased, God bless him. And we went to the Trappist Monastery outside of Santiago. And in the middle of the night, into our guest lodge burst a young man, about 20 years old, speaking different languages. He was from a wealthy family, and he had had an overdose. He had oftentimes come to the monastery begging food. I guess his family didn't know what to do with him. And monks took him in, and that night he grabbed some more medicine from the infirmary where they'd taken him, and he ran out, and he died that night. And for that reason, the monks later said, we need a more remote place. They're contemplative monks. They work for their living, but they did move farther south in Chile. Towards the end of the retreat, I went to night prayer with Father Boyle, and there the monks were saying Psalm 91. And it begins, you who dwell in the shelter of the Most High, who abide in the shadow of the Almighty, say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And hearing that psalm, something just opened up within me, and I just found myself praying, Abba, Father, I love you. Father, I love you. So following the most difficult year in my life, following these rather traumatic events at the beginning of 72, it was what Paul tells us in the 8th chapter of Romans, that the Spirit places upon our lips, especially at difficult times, the word Abba, Father. And so I invite you to read that psalm, especially at difficult times. Abba, Father, I love you. Thank you.